Hi, my name is Tatum, and the name of my story is One Less Prick, medically speaking, of course. My whole life I thought I was just like all the other kids, until I wasn't. This is the story of me and how all the pokes and pricks in the world couldn't get me down. Life was normal for me for as long as I could remember. I could jump and run and play for hours on end, and believe me, I did. One summer, everything I thought was normal started to change. First, I started to get tired and my muscles ached when I ran or even walked fast. Then my muscles got tight and I couldn't even bend over to tie my shoes anymore. Within a month, I couldn't even get out of bed by myself or get dressed on my own. I had to rely on my mom for almost everything I had already been doing for years. Nobody understood why I was changing, and at first thought maybe I was just being lazy. But I wasn't. I couldn't explain to them how bad I was feeling, and didn't think they would understand even if I did. That all changed the night of Halloween. If you are like me, then Halloween is so much fun. All the costumes and candy. Oh my goodness, I just couldn't wait to see what all I would get trick-or-treating. Mom and Dad took me and my brother's pictures in our fancy Halloween get-up, and we were off to collect our goodies. It didn't take long to figure out something was terribly wrong. My legs started to burn uncontrollably. I made it about halfway down the road and began to cry. My parents didn't know what was going on and thought it was best to head back home. Needless to say, I was a little light on candy that year, which was a bummer, but thanks to my little brother, who shamelessly went from door to door and requested not one, but 2 pieces of candy, please, I ended up with a big bag of goodies. After what happened on Halloween, my parents knew something was very wrong and called the doctor the very next day. When I went in, they ran a bunch of tests and told me I needed to go see another doctor. That doctor ran some tests and said I needed to go see another doctor. So away we went to Kansas City to see what the third charm had to say. I ended up having to stay for 3 days doing test after test and getting poked, pricked, and prodded repeatedly. It was not fun at all. But my doctor and nurses made me feel better by being so nice and friendly, and the hospital was the coolest place I had ever seen. It had more colors there than the rainbow. Bright colors are good when you're feeling low. About a week later, the doctor called my parents and told my parents that I had an autoimmune disease called juvenile dermatomyositis. Knowing that I loved to spell, I was more interested in how in the world I was going to spell this gigantic word than what was actually going to come next. The treatment was strong, aggressive, and sometimes painful. Doctor said it was the best way to feeling better and getting me on my feet again. I had lots of medicines to take every day and had to get shots and blood drawn all the time. Twice a week, I had to go to the hospital for IV steroid treatments that seemed to go on forever. They would put a needle in my vein to let the medicine reach my bloodstream immediately for the best results. For that day each week, I was, as my mom would say, wired for sound. As time went on, the medicine changed me, and I felt much better. What was really scary in the beginning turned out okay in the end, with a positive attitude and the help of my family, friends, and all the doctors and nurses who were by my side the whole way. Thanks to my doctor, I am able to do pretty much everything I used to. I am especially happy now that I can run again because I really needed my legs for getting away from my little brother. The end.